Hey, what is going on, guys? I'm Tom, back with another how-to for bread, and today I'm going to explain challah and brioche. Oh, now these two are kind of like special types of bread, because the actual definition that they go under is an enriched dough. So the difference between the doughs that I've been making at until now and the dough that we're doing today is, in short, her the definition of what qualifies as a lean and an enriched. Lean normally only has four major ingredients. So they're water, flour, salt, and yeast. However, an enriched dough has two additional ingredients in the majority, which is fat, which can be like anything from large amounts of oil to eggs to butter, and and and, and sugar. Sorry, that for some reason it stopped for my brain stopped for a second. But yeah. So with that, I'm gonna just explain now what the major difference between brioche and challah is. Now, challah technically is a type of brioche. However, brioche isn't necessarily challah. Now, if you happen to know anything about how the Jewish religion or anything like that, challah is a type of bread that's normally used in many religious occasions, such as Sabbath, where it's normally covered with a veil or something like that. And and so the reason why I say brioche technically isn't challah is because the classic form of what a challah bread is, you don't have butter or milk solids, which tend to be used more often in brioche. I mean, you can still technically make a challah from brioche dough, but it's not technically going to be like a classic brioche, or not brioche, classic challah. So, oh, with that's the major difference. So instead of butter, what it normally has is oil. So pretty much, in short, the normal stuff that is in a classic challah is flour, her water, her salt, sugar, eggs, and oil. Oh, so this is predominantly going to be that one, but this one that I'm doing has another ingredient that you can kind of take out if you're doing a classic one, because don't quote me on this, but I'm not exactly sure if honey is good in the Jewish community, because it's a product of insects. Not fully sure if it does or not. If it does, if it's perfectly fine in the challah, if you're doing it in a classic form, you're perfectly fine for doing it. If not, as I said before, or if you're doing it for like a special event as such, to where you need the classic challah, just annul the honey from this recipe and just continue as on. So, with that now said and stuff, the way a challah differs much more is it's normally braided, which gives it the nickname braided bread. And so I'm going to be showing you three different folds. Each one should equal out to about a pound each. And after that, I am going to who just set them aside and explain to you a little more on how the braids go and stuff, and all that. So, pretty much from what you need for the recipe, such as the baker's percentage and stuff, you're going to be doing a sponge. Now, a sponge is a little bit of just pre-starting the fermentation process with a handful of the flour and water in a bowl with the yeast. So, in short, it's sort of giving it a different taste, but not really as much. So, the ingredients for this sponge, as I said before, is bread, flour, water, and yeast, and those percentages are 11.7% for both the bread and water. So you're having 2 equal parts put in, and 1.7% for the yeast. Now the total dough percentage you're going to get out of this is 180.5, and the one that I'm doing right now, you can do 3 1-pound braids. So for the flour in the final dough, it's 88.3%, which if you add the bread flour and from both the sponge and the final, you get your 100%. Water is 12.8%. Honey is 5.6%. As I said before, you can annul this if by some chance you want to do it without honey, or you just don't have it in your cabinet as of right now. Sponge is 25% of the final dough weight. Salt is 2.2%, sugar 10%, eggs 22.2%, yolks, which you'll just separate the eggs, whites and yolks, 5.6%, and the oil is 8.9%. And just to kind of make it a little easier on you, a normal egg that you get from a store, or such as like the large eggs or something like that, is about 50 grams, and the yolk itself is about like 21 grams. And so, with that, you can kind of estimate how many eggs you kind of need for this, and make sure you have few eggs extra for an egg wash, and I'll explain what that is later. So for the amount for this recipe that I did, it was 95 grams of bread flour and water for the sponge. The yeast is 14 grams. Final dough flour is 721 grams. Hands water is 104. On a side note, this is bread flour in case you're wondering if it is or isn't. So yeah. Back to the ingredients. Honey is 45 grams. Sponge is 204 grams, which you'll see is the actual weight by the time all's said and done. Salt is 18 grams. Sugar is 82 grams. Eggs is 181 grams. Egg yolks is 45 grams, and oil is 73 grams. So, pretty much, what you're going to do now is take your ingredients for your sponge, mix it all together, or 20 minutes before you mix everything else. This gives the yeast time to combine and start leavening. So, after that, you're mixing everything at once, and you're going to mix it on first speed in the mixer for 1 minute, and again on second speed for 2 minutes, and on third speed for 3 minutes. After this, just let it rest for about half an hour, and then you should be ready to work with it. Now, my dough's already rested a little over half an hour, so he should be fine. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to separate the dough where did I put that guy? Oh, there you are. Now, what you're majorly going to see is a big difference as opposed to who the other doughs is. This dough is going to look yellow. Now, I'm going to turn on the light here in like 2 seconds just so you can see what I mean. There we go. Nice and yellow. So, now that I've got my dough out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with doing my high weights for my 3-strand. And which, for the 3-strand, you're going to do 152 grams of it. So, considering it's 3-strand, you're going to need 3 braids of it. So, I'm just going to point out right now, this is literally, been done with, you're going to get exactly the amount, because I took this right off of a practical test that I had to take while in school. And if any of you know exactly what I am talking about, how you'll understand how much of a big pain in my ass this was. But yeah, I know I've got a subscriber that does know what I'm talking about with this, so she understands my rant right there. So almost. Come on. Very sticky. But you know, I'm fine with that. Alright. So, I've got now my 3 strands. I'm going to cover them with a damp cloth, because the worst thing that happens with this is I get a skin on it. And that's just going to make it look kind of crappy by the time all's said and done. So, next I'm going to measure out my 4-strand, and which is going to be 114 grams. Dough's a lot heavier because it's got all the fat and stuff in it. It doesn't look it, but it is much heavier than it actually is. As in case you're curious on that. So, pretty much, now that I am getting this done and stuff, this is gonna start resting, for some time more. Or just, as for the forming stuff. Come on now. This is a very annoying process when you're trying to fill up a video. I probably lost some speed while doing this, as after not doing it for so long. Okay. Almost there. Now, considering I'm showing you 2 different braids, I'm just going to explain that the 3-strand braid is going to start off much different than the 4 and 6-strand braid that I'm going to show you. And once I start the 3 and 4, you're gonna understand why it's different. So, okay, got my 4 done, and now we are going to do the 6th strand, which is gonna be 76 grams. Now, if you add up all these together, you're going to see that it's going to measure out to 456 grams. So, it's going to be a tad bit heavier than a pound. But in reality, once all this is said and done, what's going to happen is you are going to cut off probably about a gram or 2. So, the fact that it is a little heavier is kind of irrelevant at that point. Okay, 1. Oh, this quiet is killing me. 2. This is a long and annoying process. This is probably going to be one of my longer videos. Probably should have held off explaining what some of the stuff is until much later, but didn't think this all the way through. So, if you guys want to fast forward through this, that's completely fine, because this is just gonna be a little too annoying. Last 6 strand. So now that is done, this took up more space than I initially thought. Okay. Side dough. So, first off, I'm going to bring out my 3 strand hand pieces. Don't need you anymore. And this is going to be the part where I got to think how to angle this correctly. I'm just going to be moving these over to give me a little more space while I make the braid. So, ensure all that I am doing here, probably should have put something underneath this. All I'm just doing is putting a damp rag under this, so he doesn't move. And my hands are wet now. So, in short, I'm just lengthening this guy out, and I'm just... God damn the frick! I got 0 space. Oh my god. Life struggle. Life struggle. So in short, when you're lengthening this guy out, you want like a decent strand size. I should probably get a pan out, so once he's done. A lot of last minute stuff here. Where's my flour? I'm honestly not using flour to dampen the surface, because kind of trying to make it sticky. So normally when you do this, you want the seam side down, so hold on a sec. It's not gonna work. Okay. So, lengthening out the challah. Okay, so now that my 3 strands are almost done, I'm going to show you just why the 3 strand is so much more different than the others. So, in short, if you've ever braided hair before, this is going to look very similar. Just kind of want to lengthen these guys out a little more. God freaking damn it! Okay, don't be me and just use one surf and just not have space, because I'm really struggling right now. But okay, hey, 3 strands. Now, as I said before, people that braid, you will probably see why I'm saying it's... Ah, well that worked. Okay, so, in short... Sorry. These guys are not the length I want. Trying to make sure they're level, even, all that good stuff. So you're gonna go left to center, right to center, left to center, right to center, left to center, right to center. Kneel down, flip him over, and you've already got the left to center done. So right to center, left to center, right to center, left to center. And just keep doing it until you can't anymore. So and then we're gonna pinch these together. And we got us a 3 braid. Okay. Close to the same. I'm just gonna spray this down real quick. Where's my spray? My whole house is cluttered. Need to find a way to deal with it. Questions for later. Okay, so in short, the 3 strand was starting in the center. Now, as I said before, the 4 strand is going to be a little different because you're not starting in the center. You're starting hang right at the top. Huh. So, just so you're all are aware of that before starting this. And again, we are lengthening out my pieces. Much more space now because I've got 1 done. Okay. Much better. Much better, much better. Okay, so literally my problem before was just I didn't have the room to do this. Okay. So almost. And there we are. Just making sure these are equal. Okay. Also, just so you're all aware, make sure your seam side is on the bottom when you're doing these. Because if you don't, and the seam side is up, it's gonna look ugly as hell. Okay, so we got our 4 strands. Hands. So now what we're gonna do is our 4 strands are gonna get pinched together, or just like that. And now we're gonna go. Just so you're aware, here you don't necessarily have to do the exact side that I'm starting with this. So we're gonna go left up, bottom down, right down. So, in short, what I'm doing is taking the outside in and inside out, outside in, inside out, outside in, inside out, and I'm continuing this until I can't anymore, and pinching him down. Now, if this is a classic braid, you tend to get 12 bumps in it. Now the bumps, for a fun fact, represent the 12 branches of the Jewish community. So, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8, so I'm representing 2/3 of the community. Okay, so here is your 4 strand. Not that bad, just gonna roll them out a little more, hard to give them a little more length. But yeah, there's your 4 strand. And now what we're going to do is the final and probably the biggest pain in the butt, but is the most common in this concept for the 6th strand. Now I say the 6th strand is the biggest pain in the butt because, in short, you're working with literally 6 strands that are just very annoying. And I say it's just annoying because this is the easiest way you can find out if you screwed up. Because you do it incorrectly, it looks ugly. If you do it correctly, it looks really nice. Nice. So, well, that is the joy of the 6th strand. And this is probably the part where if you know what I'm talking about and can relate, this was probably the worst thing you had to do if you did the bakery division of the school that I went to. You can probably vouch for me in saying, hey, oh my god, this strand. And so yeah. But yeah, I'm sure if also you have done cosmetology to a point, you know what a 6X braid looks like. You can tell that this was an annoying one. Like, oh, so annoying. So, literally, all I did to make sure I know how to do this in school is I took a little bit of dead dough, which is, in short, dough that has absolutely zero leavening and is literally just water and flour, and I believe maybe a little bit of salt. I'm not 100% sure, so won't exactly say that. How do I know? So, in short, I just used it, weighed out the exact amount that I need for this, and just constantly did it. Normally when I had to learn how to do this, you would just see me just practice this. This is probably the worst thing you can probably do out of this entire dough. I'm not saying it's the hardest thing I did in school, but I'm not saying it's the easiest. It's probably more like it is what it is to you. Sort of concept. But, you know, if you can master this, it's pretty much gold star for you. Okay, so almost there. One more strand, and we have a braid to do. We can do pretty much. Okay, so this is a very difficult braid, so watch me closely, because this is an easy way, to get messed up. Just make sure your braids are about the same length and width, and round and not weirdly shaped. So, 6 strands. Again, we're starting from the top and going down to the bottom. as opposed to the 3-strand, which is a general what the hell. Like everything in the world wants to screw you over sometimes. So it's probably you probably can do from top to bottom, but it's probably more like it's easier to do it from that point of view. So all 6 of my strands, just gonna so that's all combined together. Trying to make this as close as possible. So this strand, start by pulling your outer strands out. Stuff. So you're bringing this strand down to. Well, I'm doing from right, high, and then going left, half, just so you're aware. So what would be your 6th strand is going down and becoming your new 4th strand, and your 3rd strand is coming up and becoming your new 6th strand. Next is fudge. Your So now your original 4th strand is becoming your new 3 strand. So next is your 1st strand coming down across, becoming a 4th strand. Then your wait, no, I don't think I did that right. This is why this is the most complicated thing. Oh wait, no, I'm doing this wrong. So it's first 2 strands here. So this goes up. Wait, no, I don't think I. This is should have made sure I remembered this. So 4 strand down. No. 5 strand hemmed up. 4 strand. 5 strand, new 1st strand. 6 strand, new 4th strand. 2 strand, new 6th strand. 1st strand, new 4th strand. 5 strand, new 1st strand. 6 strand, new 4th strand. 2nd strand, new 6th strand. 1st strand, new 4th strand. And that. Da-da. 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 And that's... In short, you see why it's a pain in the ass now. And something on the bottom here. It doesn't look right. What? And something's done incorrectly. Oh yeah, big time. Okay. Hey. So, I'm gonna redo this entire thing just cause I did the whole thing incorrectly. Okay. Doing this later. So, the beginning you saw was correct. heck, after that, it started getting screwy. Somewhere. So, follow what I did in the beginning, and you should get it correctly. If you find me on Instagram, I will probably show the actual braid, how it looks with this. So if you want a physical representation, and there you have it. I should be under the same name on Instagram. So, you'll have that. And pretty much after you're done with this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna egg wash it, which is just mix up eggs, sort of like when you do scrambled eggs, and that. So, there's that. Where am I? So, I'm speaking here. I'm just gonna redo the 6. So, you're gonna egg wash it and proof it. Same concepts. And then you're gonna bake it in a 350 degree oven. The reason why I'm using 350 is because there's a lot of fat in it. It's gonna brown much faster if you do it at a higher temp. So with that, at 350 should it should be done in about 18 minutes. And just so you're aware, it's done. It's going to, like, if you stick a thermometer in the center of it, it should read 195 degrees Fahrenheit. That's high enough that once you bring it out and stuff, let it cool and everything, it should turn out to be completely good. If you stick it in, it reads 195, and once you cut into it later on, it doesn't taste like it's fully done or it's doughy. You probably he stuck it in too deep or not deep enough. So just make sure of that, and just like move it up and down a bit if you're unsure if it's correct. But yeah, it should be 195 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, thanks you guys for watching this video. Sorry I could not do the 6 strand. As I said before, this is the biggest pain in the butt. But if you who liked it, please give a comment below, and if you have any suggestions, comment in the comment section and all that good stuff. Because I'm running out of stuff to show. I'm lazy. I just work too much in reality. But yeah. If you have a bread that you want to see or something, give a comment, show what it is, and hopefully it'll show on the channel. Thanks.